Imagine a world where your voice no longer truly matters, where the very system designed to empower you starts to crumble. It's happening right now. We're seeing cracks in the foundation of democracy, and the reasons might surprise you. Is the system truly broken, or are we, the people, making choices that lead us astray? One huge reason is something called populism. Think of it like this. People feel left behind. They see politicians not caring about their everyday struggles. This feeling of being ignored creates deep anger and frustration. Then, along comes a leader who says, "I'm not like them. I'm one of you." They promise simple answers to big problems, making it sound like everything can be fixed with just a few changes. These leaders often speak against the experts and the establishment, painting them as the enemy. This isn't a new problem. Way back, the philosopher Plato worried about this exact thing. He warned that in a democracy, people might choose leaders who are simply good at talking and making promises, rather than those who actually know how to govern wisely. He called these people demagogues, leaders who stir up emotions to gain power, even if they're not fit to lead. Another thinker, Aristotle, also saw this danger. He feared what he called mob rule, where the large group of people, driven by their feelings or their own needs, could make quick, poor decisions instead of thinking about what's best for everyone. But here's the catch with these easy answers. They often fall apart. And as these populist leaders gain power, they sometimes start to chip away at the very rules that make democracy fair. They might try to control the news, or make it harder for judges to do their job, or even change election rules. It's a slow process, like water wearing away a stone, but it weakens the whole system from the inside. Experts like Stephen Levitsky and Daniel Ziblatt have shown how this chipping away can slowly lead to democracy dying. Now think about your phone. Every day you see news, posts, and videos, but much of what you see might not be true. Social media platforms have become a battlefield of false information. Stories are made up or twisted, and they spread like wildfire. It becomes incredibly hard to tell what's real and what's fake. This makes it tough for people to make good choices about who to vote for, because they're not getting clear, honest facts. This concern isn't new. Plato himself believed that citizens needed true knowledge to make wise decisions, not just popular opinions. John Stuart Mill also stressed that a healthy society needs open debate where truth can emerge and false ideas can be challenged. But how can truth win when lies spread so quickly? Even worse, these platforms often put you in what's called an echo chamber. It's like being in a room where you only hear your own ideas bounced back to you. The computer programs behind these apps show you more of what you already agree with. This means people stop hearing other ideas. They become more sure that only their way is right, and it makes them angrier at anyone who thinks differently. This kind of division rips apart the very fabric of healthy debate, making it nearly impossible for people to work together or even understand each other. Also, leaders can now talk directly to people, without anyone checking their facts. They can post something on social media and reach millions in seconds. This gives them huge power to sway minds with feelings, not truth. They can speak straight to their supporters, bypassing traditional news sources that might question what they say. This direct line, full of emotion and often lacking proof, reminds us of Jean-Jacques Rousseau's worry. He believed in the general will of the people, what's truly best for everyone. But he feared that clever individuals could trick or manipulate the people, making them vote for something that seems good but actually serves a few, not the true general will. This direct communication makes it easier for people to pick leaders based on how they feel about them, rather than what they actually do or stand for. Beyond all that, there's a growing problem with money and fairness. It feels like some people have much, much more money and power than others. When a small group holds a lot of wealth, they can have a huge say in politics. They can give money to campaigns or influence laws, making it harder for the average person's voice to be heard. This can make people feel like the system is rigged, that their vote doesn't really matter. When people believe the game is unfair, they get angry and resentful. Aristotle centuries ago pointed out that a strong, large middle class is key to a stable government. When there's a huge gap between the very rich and the very poor, it often leads to fighting and anger. He saw that extremes of wealth could lead to either the rich ruling only for themselves, oligarchy, or the poor taking over in anger, pure democracy, mob rule. Both, in his view, were unstable. Today, as that middle class shrinks, it creates the very kind of instability Aristotle warned against. This anger can push them towards leaders who promise to shake things up, even if those leaders don't have good plans. They just want someone to fight for them against the powerful few, which can lead to choosing leaders who are not truly suitable for the job. Finally, another big piece of the puzzle is how much we actually understand about how our government works, and how much we actually get involved. If people don't learn how to think critically about news, or how to really understand the issues, they're easier to trick. It's like trying to play a game without knowing the rules. This links back to what Plato emphasized: the need for citizens to be truly educated and to seek wisdom, not just opinion, to govern themselves well. If they aren't, they might just pick anyone who appeals to their immediate feelings. And if people feel like their vote doesn't count, or that politics is too complicated and messy, they stop caring. They stop showing up to vote, or they stop talking about important issues. John Stuart Mill warned about the tyranny of the majority, but he also knew that for a democracy to thrive, people needed to actively participate and develop their abilities to think and act as responsible citizens. When fewer people care, or when they don't have the tools to make good choices, it leaves a big, empty space. And into that empty space, all kinds of leaders can step in, some good, some very bad. So we've seen how today's world throws new challenges at democracy, from leaders who appeal to anger, to a digital world filled with misinformation, to the growing gap between rich and poor, and even how much we understand about our own government. Philosophers through time, from Plato to Mill, have warned about these very dangers: the risk of choosing leaders based on emotion, the problem of a public that isn't fully informed, and the instability that comes from deep divisions. But here's the unsettling truth: these challenges aren't just ideas from old books. They are happening now, shaping our world in real time. We are living in an era where, for the first time in over 20 years, there are now more countries moving away from democracy than towards it. The very foundation of what it means to be a government by the people, for the people, is being tested in ways we've never seen. The question then becomes, if these trends continue, what kind of world will we truly inherit? And what exactly would replace democracy if it falls?